I'm not going to spend a lot of time on introductions because we're here for the stories. Stories, voices from the community. And as you may know, this is a new element to our conferences called SMPTE Storytellers. And our first storyteller is Jeffrey Shapiro, and he's from the organization Exceptional Minds. Jeffrey?
Thank you, Joel. I am Jeffrey Shapiro, the Executive Director of Exceptional Minds, and I would like to tell you a story. We're calling it Moving Expectations Forward. But before we get into the story, I'd like to show you this brief video.
Nobody ever asks a kid with autism, what is it you'd really like to do? At this school, we ask, what is your goal? What is your dream?
We couldn't ask for a better team member. Everyone needs a little bit of help. And I have a studio full of artists. They're storytellers, they're dreamers. Does it take a little hand-holding? Yes. Does it take a commitment that we will not stop until this succeeds? Yes. But that's how we make movies.
I used to work as a stock clerk who would just go through the aisles and organize things.
People are saying, you're autistic, you can't work here. It's like, no, this place shows me I can.
Even though I have autism, you can still follow your dream no matter how hard life gets. And that's how I'm going to get through this.
All right. So Exceptional Minds really is a remarkable organization. But you may ask yourself, well, autism doesn't touch my life, so why should I care? Well, the vast majority of individuals with autism are unemployed or underemployed. Some statistics place it over 90%. And what comes with that? An extreme burden on public services and a pervasive sense of isolation and loneliness. Let me share this personal experience with me. Last spring, I was in Savannah, Georgia, where I spoke at Geekend, the technology and entertainment industry conference. And a woman came up to me. She's a mother of a child with autism, and she started to cry, and she gave me a huge hug. And she said, my child will probably never go to Exceptional Minds, but until I knew about the existence of your program, I was hopeless. And now, I have hope. Briefly, Exceptional Minds is a professional training academy and studio. You can see some of our students had a field trip to Sony. It's a professional training academy and studio that trains individuals with autism to become visual effects artists and animators. Our program is about employment, independence, and inclusion. So let me now tell you the story I came here to tell you. The story of Kevin. Kevin was in our first graduating class in 2014. When Kevin came to Exceptional Minds, he was bagging groceries in a supermarket. He was living with his parents, and he didn't even have a driver's license. Kevin went through our program and got hired by Stargate Studios, where he worked as a professional visual effects artist. He moved out of his parents' home, lived on his own, and got his driver's license. After 4 years at Stargate Studios, there was a workforce reduction, and Kevin found himself without a job. So what did Kevin do? Kevin moved to Japan to live on a farm. Now, think how remarkable is this story. A few years prior, Kevin, an adult with autism, was bagging groceries in a supermarket, lived with his parents, didn't drive. He decides to move to a country where he knows nobody. He's not of Japanese heritage. He wasn't familiar with the culture. He wasn't familiar with the language. A lot of neurotypical people wouldn't do that. Well, this is what Exceptional Minds does. It transforms the expectations of those individuals with autism, and it changes and transforms the expectations of society. This also illustrates what happens when inclusion is part of the dialogue. Now, before I take questions, I'm going to close with this segment the Today Show did on us back in February.
Black Panther is nominated tonight for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It's the first superhero movie ever to receive a nomination in that category. The world of Wakanda was created through stunning visual effects, some of them by the exceptional minds at one studio. Joe Fryer has our Sunday closer.
To create an Oscar-nominated movie like Black Panther, it takes thousands of creative minds, one of which belongs to visual effects artist Tony Saturno.
This is before the operation, and this is after.
He was tasked with getting rid of all the production stuff you're not supposed to see in this scene.
I needed to remove these flags here and here and here.
Tony works at Exceptional Minds, a nonprofit studio for artists who are on the autism spectrum.
It feels very rewarding, to say the least.
It was founded in 2011 by parents of children with autism. Susan Zwerman is the studio's executive producer.
I always wanted to help others to aspire to become something, to be better in their lives.
Exceptional Minds started as a 3-year school teaching graphic and visual effects, and more recently, animation.
I actually was the one that provided the voice for that.
Generally speaking, areas where you can focus, where you can work on detail, those are things that are conducive for a lot of individuals who are on the spectrum.
In 2014, they added a studio, giving graduates a place to work. Before long, they were teaming up with box office powerhouses like Marvel Studios.
The idea was to do slow steps, give them more and more work as they succeeded, and they did over and over and over and over.
Eli Katz worked on Black Panther, erasing stray hairs and cleaning up other imperfections.
You must be very patient.
Yeah, yes I am.
We go hand in hand with their focus and determination, makes our movies far better.
Exceptional Minds has worked on 44 TV shows and 84 films, including Black Panther, Green Book, First Man, and Solo, a Star Wars story, all Oscar nominees.
I said, wow, we worked on that. When I shared it with the artists, I mean, everybody was cheering.
Perhaps the greatest reward is seeing their work on the big screen and their names in the credits.
I couldn't help but put my fist up in the air.
For Eli, the best reaction came from a friend.
As soon as he saw my name, he started shouting in joy, telling everyone in the seats that my name was on there.
Were you a little embarrassed or were you proud?
No, a little bit of both.
What can society learn from this?
Try and treat others, with respect and let them live their full potential.
Unlocking creativity that flourishes.
And with that, I'm
inside
happy to answer
truly
any questions
exceptional
that
minds.
anybody has.
For Sunday Today, Joe Fryer, Los Angeles.
They do beautiful work. Joe, thank you very much.
Back there, but it's also kind of bright, so I'm just I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Anthony Magliocco. So are the young people who are doing these jobs, are they paid?
Yes. So we have our graduates who go directly into outside employment, working at places like Marvel Studios, Stargate Studios, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers. But we also do have our working studio, and they get paid. If the studio gets paid to do the work, our artists get paid. So yes, they do.
And how do you recruit?
We have with us Renalis Naveo, who is our manager of communications and outreach, and we do fairs all over the country. We do speaking engagements all over the country. We have relationships with various schools and school districts. But we're fairly well known in the autism community as well, and we draw students from all over the world.
Bravo, and my hat's off to you.
Well, thank you very much. I will also share with you, in addition to our full-time program, we have a host of part-time programs. Summer workshops, which are 2 weeks long, Saturday classes. We also have virtual private lessons done via video conferencing, and those programs start as young as 12. And those are a great way for somebody who is below the age to enter our full-time program, where you have to be over 18 and have completed high school or equivalency to get your feet wet or just see if digital arts is something that you're interested in. And of course, you do have to have a formal diagnosis of autism or a related disorder. Any other questions? Yes.
So there's a huge spectrum of autism. How do you determine what's acceptable into this program?
We do not look at the level of impact. We're not looking at where students are on the spectrum. Since our mission is about employability, we focus on two areas. The two areas are, and let me preface something before I answer that and say that the reason why our program is so effective is we're not only offering the technical skills, but we fully integrated into our program are the behavioral and work readiness skills. So one full day a week is dedicated exclusively to those skills that in other places might be called soft skills, but oftentimes those are the most difficult skills for our students. And even on the other days of the week, that is interwoven in the technical classes as well. So when students apply, we do two in-depth assessments. One is on the likelihood to succeed technically, and the other is on the likelihood to succeed from an employability point of view. So that's how we decide.
Thank you.
Right.
I was just wondering on the one side is the, can you see me? The one side is the students, you know, the autistic students, but the other side is once they get into work, do you do anything on training the people they're going to work with on how to work with someone who has autism, how to manage them, that kind of thing?
Yes, we do, and thank you for answering that. Our work readiness program, our employability program, is led by a group of doctoral level behavioral specialists. Our behavioral staff will provide support to our students on internships and our graduates in employment. And in addition, we will provide that support to the employer. So we will come in and do autism training, generally what to expect, but we'll also come in and train the employer on how that employee or that intern is impacted by autism. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've had very good success in terms of employment as well. Other questions? All right. I thank you very much for your time today.